Take one. Are we ready?
Yes.
So we want to talk today about the Dreamland Ballroom and how much we love it. I was pregnant when I bought the Taborian Hall with this baby right here. And so I don't know if it was just a big nesting urge while I was pregnant, but whatever the reason is, I've come to own this building, love this building, learn about this building, and find out that it's not just a sticks and bricks, but it has a long history. And we hired somebody to, Berna Love, an author, to do the history of the Dreamland Ballroom. And she interviewed tons of old timers who had been here in its heyday, and she wrote a book. And then that book morphed into a movie that was made by PBS. That's a documentary. And then after that, my son Matthew, who I was pregnant with when I bought the building, came home from college and took up the torch. He has the passion for this building like not really all of my other children do. They love it, don't get me wrong, but he really has a passion for it and its history. And together we've made a big difference. I started the Friends of Dreamland Ballroom in 2009 after I realized that there was never going to be enough money in my family to renovate the Dreamland Ballroom on my own. And so I started a nonprofit called the Friends of Dreamland in the hopes of getting some grants and some outside help. After about 8 or 9 years, I was starting to really get tired, and I guess you'd say the rose was falling off the bloom. I was getting a little discouraged. I was working hard, and we weren't really making we were making some progress. We were educating people about the building and telling the story, but we weren't really getting any money. Yeah, baby steps. And then Matthew graduates from college, like I was just saying, and when he does, he comes home and with a founder, an original founder of the board who had just moved back to town. Together, she and son Matthew wrote a grant with the National Park Service, and we were able to put in the elevator addition, which makes the Dreamland Ballroom ADA accessible. Matthew and Katie Elliott, I don't know if she cares if I say her name, but Katie Elliott, together, she was a volunteer, helped write the grant. And now you've gotten 3 of these National Park Service grants. And right now, we're working on the stage. Mm-hmm. We're going to get the stage up to code, and we've already put in a handicap bathroom, gotten an elevator addition. We've got to get it sprinkled. Oh yeah, we put in central heat and air.
Mm-hmm. Big one.
We're still got a few things that are out of the National
Park Service.
Out of the National Park Service scope that they won't really work on. It's not really historical. And they are things like the parking lot to make it have ramps for handicapped people, just kind of the landscaping and everything on the outside.
Smooth infrastructure out there is
They'll work on the building,
yeah,
but they won't work on the landscaping on the outside of the building. Arkansas Flag and Banner is always spending money on the Dreamland Ballroom, baby steps, like he was saying earlier. But we kind of came to the idea, why don't we do a matching campaign? And some of that money that Arkansas Flag and Banner is already spending, why don't we just match it if we can get other people to spend with us? So we started a matching campaign. So for every $1 that someone gives to the Dreamland Ballroom to help us in our restoration, Arkansas Flag and Banner is going to match that $1. So I hope that you go read about the Dreamland Ballroom, that you learn about the Dreamland Ballroom, you watch Matthew's tour, he tells you about it. At dreamlandballroom.org, you can find a link to Matthew's tour, and you can take the tour and see why it's so important. You can also watch the documentary from PBS called
Dreamland.
Dreamland. And you can also read Berna Love's book, the historian who wrote the book, called The Temple of Dreams. So I hope you'll join us in this really important effort to save the Dreamland Ballroom and make it accessible to everybody for everybody's use. Thank you for hearing our story. Son Matthew and I appreciate everything you do.